Hi, hello, hi. Welcome back.
Hi,
Welcome.
hello, hi.
It's the SqueekyDogCast, and we're
It's the
back.
Doggy Scoop
This
Cast.
is so last episode was pre-recorded a week in advance because I was gone, and now we're back, and this is being recorded at the normal time.
You were where all near dead presidents go.
I was I'm actually really upset that last week had possibly the funniest news story that we could have talked about on the podcast, which was Trump disappearing, which we'll get to later. But I'm so upset that I was missing for that because that would have been so funny to talk about while it was updating. But we'll get to it
Florida
later. I yeah, I was at Florida. I was at Disney World. I was
at the Florida
in the heart of darkness, as they say.
in the heart of dark.
The dark continent, Florida. We drove there, so it was a very long trip. It what could have been just like a 5 day trip became a fucking seven no 8 day trip. Sorry, 8 days. 2 days down, 1 day up for driving, and then 5 days down there. It was an 8 day trip. Um, I won't take up a lot of the episode to talk about it. But I do want to like. There's some things that happened there that I think would be fun. But I want to ask first though, Jade, how are you doing?
I can hear.
You can hear your ears better. Yes.
So, in the past week, I got a bit of a blockage in my ear.
Yes.
I gotta like give my head a break from the headset from time to time, it turns out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for like 3 days, I was deaf in one ear.
Yeah, you had a lot of like early nights and stuff, and we weren't really on call that much because it was just you were in pain the whole time.
I was in an incredible amount of pain. Like I was trying to be in denial about it too, kind of. But like it would just hit me, and I'd just be like, I can't.
Yeah,
Too much pain.
you gotta take your rests. You gotta get those headphones off, otherwise they'll really like fuck up your ears just from how heavy they are. They like weigh down on you.
They really can. So it
Yeah.
won't be a super long episode if we can help it
Yes.
today.
Yes. Plus I still have to edit it and upload it today, so it won't be long for logistical reasons as well. Um,
Last
I
week there was some issues with the editing and uploading.
ah,
It happens.
it happens. Um, I am also a bit sick. You could probably hear it, but I'm just congested. But this entire week, I was just fucking like physically exhausted, headache. I still have a bit of like a sensitivity to lights at the moment, but like earlier in the week, it was literally like staring at a screen or being in a room with lights on just fucking hurt. Now it just makes my like right eye tear up a bit sometimes if I'm like next to a window with the sun being really bright and stuff. Um, but I'm still very congested and I sound like it. But I'm fine. I feel fine. I don't have a headache anymore, so I'm happy to record. Yeah, no, we could
Month for
yeah,
it.
we could talk about my vacation now. Uh,
Yes, you were in
yes.
the great state of
Great
Florida.
state of Florida, which little news shout out here. Florida just ended all vaccine mandates. Um, so I'm really happy to get out of there before, the average Floridian became a walking petri dish. Uh, oh God. No, yeah, the Florida, driving to Florida was an experience in and of itself, and was honestly more entertaining than Disney was at times. Because I hadn't been south in like 11 years, so seeing all these like southern states and like just the way southern towns were and stuff was a little interesting. It really puts into perspective that just New Jersey kind of is like the best state, at least on the East Coast. Like it's the most convenient state. It has everything. Like rest stops in New Jersey are like huge, like fancy buildings with food and bathrooms and 8 hour parking spots so you can nap. And then you go down south and there are no rest stops. It's just a town that has like all its houses are like half a mile apart, and there's one main street that has 8 fast food restaurants, a gas station, and like maybe a bank. And that was like every town we passed through on the way south. It was just that. It was like a Bojangles, Waffle House, Denny's, Cracker Barrel, McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. And that was like every city we passed through. I actually kept tally of how many of like the white people restaurants we passed, and I think Cracker Barrel won. On the way down, we saw 28 Cracker Barrels. Uh,
Okay, white people
yeah.
restaurants. You're gonna have to
Okay,
explain.
I'll break it down. I'll break it down. So, a white person restaurant to me is a restaurant that like rural white people love to eat at. It would be something like a Cracker Barrel or maybe a Denny's. I think Cracker Barrel is probably the best one to use it with because not too long ago, actually the week I was missing, people got really upset at the Cracker Barrel logo change. So I think maybe like that's a pretty good example of the white people restaurant. Uh, Other than that, though, I mean, I guess I'm trying to find currently as I'm talking. I have a list. All right, I found a list. Okay, so I have a list here of the final count of what we passed through. These are the restaurants I was counting for. So yeah, Cracker Barrel. There were 27 Cracker Barrels, 12 Denny's, 26 Waffle Houses, 7 Hardee's, which is Carl's Jr.'s on the West Coast, and approximately 12 Bojangles. I wasn't counting Bojangles the whole time, but all those restaurants are ones you don't really get in New Jersey. I mean, the Cracker Barrel is probably the only one that is like adequately in New Jersey. Maybe it's just me being like bigoted to the rest of the country, and me being like an East Coast elitist.
I think maybe it's a bit of that.
Maybe a bit of that, but like those are all like not places I would like to eat at. I'd rather go eat at like a Wawa. Shout out to Wawa. Oh, we stopped at Bucky's also. I want to give a shout out to Bucky's. I sent you photos of Bucky's, but Bucky's is like a massive ass gas station they have down south. Uh, like it's these like massive complexes of just endless gas stations and food. Like the food here is like the real killer. Like this shit is so yummy. They make live brisket and they sell all this like beaver Bucky merch and like
I'll turn you into a brisket.
you gonna cut me up. Oh, these beaver nuggets. I ate a whole bag of these on the way down, and my stomach fucking hurt so bad. It's just like pure caramel and sugar. It's a wild place. Something you don't see up north. This is only a thing you could do when you're in a state that has infinite land, like the South. This is the one we were at. We were at the one in Georgia. This is the one we first went to. Um, I think Bucky's is quite cool. Um,
But
that's just the drive down. When we actually got to Disney, we spent the first day at the water park because that was the way we had like our whole vacation was very planned through like a I can't find the word for it, but it's like they set up a service so we can like have our meals planned for us beforehand, and we could like we can get into the water park before we were able to check in. It was like an accommodation thing, so we did that. We went into the hotel. We ate dinner at like a Mexican place at Disney. It was called Maya's. It was pretty nice. And then we went to the parks the next couple days. It was Hollywood Studios, then Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, then Epcot. Uh, I won't talk a lot about like rides or anything other than I'll say that Hollywood Studios was by far the best park that's there. I would say that it would be Epcot, but when we got to Epcot on the last day, um, the entire park, like all the parks, had power issues, so all the rides stopped working, and we got stuck on Journey into Your Imagination, which is a shitty ride, and we got stuck on it just sitting there. I sent you the video, Jade. We got stuck there next to these like doors that were playing sound effects of laughing, and it just went on loop, and we were stuck there for 15 minutes, and it was fucking hell. I hated it. I wanted to die. It was the last ride we did too. It
hilarious.
wasn't funny. It was fucking awful.
Absolutely
We were
hilarious.
stuck
It
there
was
for 15 minutes.
Not long enough.
But that ride sucked ass. And like they didn't even let us just get off. We had to finish the ride too when they got working. So we had to finish the fucking ride.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
No, but like Epcot was cool because you got to see like the World Showcase and it was the International Food and Wine Festival, so they had a bunch of like chefs come and set up kiosks to sell food from around the world, and by around the world they meant the Americas, mostly Europe, Asia, and then like Australia. I don't think there was a single African country that had food out there. Um and I think the only South American country was actually Brazil. So they didn't really have that many crazy foods.
So about as international as America
Yeah,
usually
yeah,
is.
yeah. But it was
I
cool to
mean,
have
more
some nice
internet. I
bratwurst.
mean, like, I was it the baseball, right? The big
MLB,
baseball tournament is this
the
the
World Series.
World Series. Only one country fucking partakes.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, though, only like one other country plays baseball, and it's Japan. So like, of the world of baseball, one out of two ain't bad.
50%
50%.
of the two countries.
It's a coin flip there, you know. It's alright, you know. Half
Your
full.
country. This
Uh,
is this is exactly why your country ended up the way it did. You know that, right?
yeah, I know.
It's the
Um,
World Series. Of course, it's the whole world. It's everything from New York to California.
what's in Alaska? No, Epcot. No, even with all the rides at Epcot breaking, it was cool to see the countries. I had bratwurst from the Food and Wine Festival. It wasn't like a meal size, so it wasn't like my lunch or anything. It was like a little snack size bratwurst. It was good though. I wanna make bratwurst for myself because I like sausage a lot
I
and
turn you into a
bratwurst.
brat first.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. Uh,
It would be hilarious.
um, Epcot was good. We had hibachi there. It was great. Magic Kingdom fucking sucks, by the way. Like it really is like it's the most visited theme park in the world, and it's like the main Disney World park. But it sucks. It's awful. It is just too crowded. Tomorrowland, which is like the future area, is no shade at all, and it's all concrete and metal and reflective surfaces. So it just becomes a heat sink that feels 130 degrees while you're walking through it. It was miserable. I hated it. The only saving grace of Magic Kingdom is it has some really good rides, like the Haunted Mansion, which I'm gonna show you a clip of real quick because I think you would actually enjoy this ride if you went to Disney. Because it's like
You into
what?
mansion. I turn you into a haunted mansion.
What does that mean? You gonna kill me? You gonna kill me and like turn me into a building? Uh, I found a random video of someone recording the ride through of it. But you get in these like you get in these little seats here. You pull down the lap bar and you go through. You see some spooky stuff. It starts off with just like seeing shadows play things when they're not there. You go up some stairs. You see a hallway that goes on forever. You pass through some stuff. You see this big room with like a seance, and it's hard to tell in the video, but all these things are like reflections. They're like you're like going and seeing all these flying like instruments on the wall. The seance begins, and after the seance, you see this room, and this is the room that I think is like the best of the whole ride because it uses an illusion technology called like Pepperidge's Ghost or something, where they project an image onto smoke and it makes it look like it's like a ghost. So like this whole room here, when you see it in person, these things just come in and out of existence and they move because they're just projecting animatronics that are working like underneath the show. But you see all these ghosts dancing in here and it looks so cool. Like it really is such a good effect and the whole ride like utilizes this type of stuff and it's so much fun. And like the music makes it all spooky and it's a lot of fun and stuff. And then you go into this room in the attic where there's a woman who just keeps killing her husbands and you see her at the end there. And then you go into the graveyard where you see more of the ghost effect come up with some ghosts. And then you see a bunch of ghost animatronics pop out around. And the music's all fun.
Turn you into a ghost.
No, don't kill me. Yeah, it's a fun part. There's little head busts over here that talk and sing.
Head busts. They're just called busts, you know.
Head, whatever. And then whatever. Yeah, and then you get picked up by hitchhikers. It's a very fun ride. I think you would like it if you rode it because it's very Tim Burton spooky stuff. It's fun.
Busts even.
What'd you say?
Head busts even.
Head busts even. It's fun. But Magic Kingdom also had the Tron roller coaster, which I have a funny story about. I think I told you about this because it's just so funny to me. But we were online for it, and it's like it's like the newest roller coaster in the park. It's one of the newest rides I think in Disney, and it's like a super fast roller coaster where you sit down like a motorcycle. And there was a kid with his dad online, and the kid's probably like 7. And the dad, you could tell that the dad just really wanted to ride the ride, and he had to bring the kid on because like he couldn't leave his kid alone. So he's just trying to make this his kid excited to ride it. And he asks us like, "Have you guys ridden this ride before? Have you rode this ride before? Like, is it cool? Like, is it too fast? Is it too?" And we're trying to calm this kid down, even though we've never ridden this before. Like, we're trying to calm him down to get him to ride it, and we're just basically lying to the kid, saying like, "Oh, it doesn't look that fast. It's fine. You'll be fine." And then he gets on the ride. He's all happy, or not happy, but he's like all confident, and he's like, "I can do this." He gets on, and then he goes off first because they're on the first car, and then we get on the next one. And then when we launch off, like, is it we you move out slowly into the next room, and then when you're in the next room, you launch off, and it's like 0 to 60. It is such a fast launch, like instantly. And I just knew that like this kid fucking hated the whole ride, the whole way through that, because of just how fast and like zippy it was and shit. And we get off the ride, and we see like the dad, and we walk past him, and we just see the kid bawling, like crying his eyes out in such a violent
What?
manner.
That's not cool.
we
Poor
we
fucking kid.
we fucking traumatized the kid.
Poor fucking kid. You bastard dog.
Well, the thing is, like, that was me when I was a kid. That was exactly what I did at Disney when I went when I was also like 7. We went to Hollywood Studios and we went on the Tower of Terror, which is another ride I think you would like, but maybe less so because it's very rough. It's a tower drop ride, and you're inside a mansion. And the way the ride is, it's a Twilight Zone tie-in too, so it's like got Rod Sterling talking to you and stuff. But the story of the ride is that back in the old Hollywood days, the ride was a huge hotel, and then it was struck by lightning while people on the elevator, and then the elevator like exploded, and all the people died. And now you can ride that haunted elevator and experience what they'd experienced. So you get on, and you watch the people before you get on, and then you never see them get off, which is normal for a ride. Like it's in a different area, but they use that to be a part of the scare, where it's like these people did not get back on the elevator, like they're gone forever. And as a kid, I saw the people get on but never get off, and it terrified the fuck out of me because I didn't know how that worked. I didn't know that they just got off somewhere else. So I was crying in the line like, and I closed my eyes the whole ride and cried. I was terrified. It was such a scary experience for me. And then I rode the ride like this time, and it's like the best ride at the park. It's my favorite one because it's like the theming's great. It's fun. It's a drop ride. You get to see the park for like the inside. It spooks out and shit. And it's Twilight Zone, so I like the Twilight Zone, so it's fun.
It's funny to me that you were one of those kids who was just like, they're really gonna kill us.
Of course I was. Of course I was.
Of course you were.
I was I
Of
was
course
a
you
I was a terrified child of everything. I think I've talked about like how often I was scared of things. But when I was a kid and we would go into like Halloween stores or like the Halloween decoration aisle at a store, I'd have to put on my dad's glasses because I would be crying too much and I'd be embarrassed by it because it was too scary for me. Like I would outright refuse to go into Spirit Halloween when I was younger.
dog.
I'm a fucking stupid dog.
Silly
I'm a silly,
silly
stupid
dog.
dog. Yeah, and Animal Kingdom, we also went there. It was cool. I like Expedition Everest. It's a cool ride where you go on like Everest on a roller coaster and you see a Yeti, and he's cool. It's a switch track coaster too, so like the track switches while you're on it. So like you go in one way, and then its track switches behind you, and then you go backwards, and then it switches again, and you go forward again. It's really cool. Um,
Gonna turn you into a Yeti.
no, wait, what do you just keep saying that? You
I
turned me.
don't know.
You
That's
turned me.
my running joke
You turned me
of
so many things.
today.
I'm a
I'm gonna
mansion.
turn
I'm a
you
yeti. I'm a ghost. This is a fucking.
into a mansion.
You said you're gonna turn me into a haunted mansion. You not remember that?
Oh, it'd be well. No, I don't remember that one. I'll be honest. I'm gonna have to start keeping track. I'm losing track of all the things I'm supposed to turn you into.
You keep a list. Uh, but yeah. After that, we drove back up. It took us a day to get up because we did it in one drive, and that was fucking hell. I couldn't get any sleep on the way up. I got like 30 minutes of sleep, and then I wound up like passing out when I got home. And apparently, like people were banging on my door to wake me up, but I just didn't hear it. Like I was out cold. I actually also learned this trip that I snore. I didn't ever knew that I snored, but because I shared a room with everyone in the hotel, everyone kept telling me how I snored so loud and that they tried to slap me to wake me up so I could snore, not snore. But apparently, I didn't wake up from that, and also I snore. I never knew I snored. So, or at least maybe I was only snoring then because I was sleeping on my back because of the way like the beds were and everything. But
You snore. This is you better not snore around me.
well, I
I'll
only
smother you
snore.
in your sleep.
I apparently because David never said I snored.
I'll
Um,
smother you in your sleep.
so because like snoring happens when you sleep on your back or when like there's other things going on or whatever. But like I guess I was sleeping on my back there a lot because I was having to share a big bed with someone and stuff. So like I was just kind of like like it was just hard to get comfortable, and I wound up sleeping on my back. Uh, and maybe that's why because I've never been told that I snored before, so I think you're safe, Jade. Don't worry.
I'm absolutely just gonna smother you in your sleep.
Yeah, just turn me on my side. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to
I'm
do.
just a small little rat,
I'm too fat. I'm too big.
and the pillow is very, very light.
Just smother me.
The pillow
Uh,
is lighter than you are.
I mean that's not exactly like a hard thing for the pillow to be. Like pillows are very light. I can't imagine many people are lighter than a pillow. I don't think that's really a thing.
I
Uh,
mean, it's my reasoning, though.
it is your reasoning. Yeah, that's the whole trip though. That was the whole Disney trip. That's why I was gone. I missed some funny politics though. But I'm back and we're back and we're recording episodes
Want to
again.
talk about the funny politics?
I do want to talk about the funny politics. So
Trump has died,
Trump, I firmly believe
and
Trump
now
died and then
it's
we had a hologram of him.
weekend at Donny's.
Weekend at Donnie's. So Donald Trump disappeared for like 5 days last week. He hadn't been seen. I forget when the last time he was seen before he reappeared. Uh, but he hadn't been seen for a bit. People had been noticing bruises on his arms. People, or I should say hands. People have been noticing bruises on his hands. They noticed that like he stumbled more, he walked less straight. Like when he met Putin in Alaska, there's a video of him walking down the red carpet there that they rolled out, and he can't walk straight. Like he keeps walking off the carpet, wandering like a foot away from it, and then having to course correct. Like he kind of just stumbles his way along. He's got like very bad coordination with himself. And then he disappeared, and he had only been seen once by cameras in the time he disappeared, and it was fucking like 40 seconds where he was walking from his car to another car or something, and he was going to play golf, and he looked awful. I actually should have brought up a photo of it. I probably can find one really quickly. Trump health photo. I'm gonna type in this. Uh, let's see. I think doctored images of Trump. What is this? Is this gonna be actual doctored images, or is it just so someone lying? Reject all your fucking cookies. Oh, that is definitely not real. Is it? That's not real. Get me out of here. Where's the images I'm thinking of? Is it this one here? This is it. This is it. Yeah, this is the images we got of him when he was missing. This is what we were looking at with Trump. Like he looks like a fucking dying old man.
Corpse. Yeah, his weekend at Donny's. It looks like they like shoved a sharp stick up his ass and they're just like parading him around now.
Yeah. He literally looks like my grandfather here. This is what my grandfather looks like. Like pretty much, except that he has one eye.
I
My grandfather has one eye
I know
and more hair.
that the rhetoric around Trump is very much like, oh, he's the picture of health. He's like Captain America, you know? Like
I didn't have DNA.
he
I had
never speaks
USA.
and but is this really it? Is this really like peak America? Is
No,
this what you
no.
want? Like, look,
This
I'm not really speaking to you yet,
yeah,
Riley.
yeah.
You know, like I'm kind of preaching to the
Yeah.
choir on that one. Out there, people, really, for fuck's sake, all of you
So
Americans, millions of Americans, this is peak.
so
Fuck you all.
So this is a consistent theme with fascism. I think the best analog to it is either Hitler or Mussolini because both of these people did the exact same thing, but they love to have the myth of the perfect health, the perfect physique, the perfect worker, the hardest worker guy ever. And they always say this about Trump. They always say that, like, I remember, I think it was in that JD Vance interview he did where he said that he'd be happy to fill in if the president died or whatever. But he said that, like, Trump's always the last one to be on calls and he's always the first one to get up in the morning. You know, he's always the last one to go out. And that's literally like Mussolini shit. Mussolini's guys had always made sure they had his study lights on to make it look like he was always working, but really he was just never there. So like
Yeah, but like on that same note, like in these rooms where Trump is apparently quote unquote working so goddamn
yeah,
hard, right?
yeah.
Isn't he just like sitting there with his thumb up his ass
Pretty
while like
much.
smart people in the room do
He
stuff and
he
tell him like what he's supposed to say?
yeah,
Like
we've
he doesn't he clearly doesn't do any actual
yeah.
research on it.
No,
He
god
clearly
no.
doesn't so he's what is he working on? Like he doesn't do anything.
So
Like even his meetings with other world dignitaries, I get very much the feeling that they're just sitting there like trying to squeeze out what little diplomacy they can from an idiot,
I mean you remember the
and then
Ramaphosa
going home and
meeting.
being like, all right, I guess we'll wait for the next fucking president because clearly like no shit's like happening here.
You remember the clown show that was the Ramaphosa meeting where he basically had Ramaphosa in and then just like tried to catch him off guard with like Congo civil war footage saying this is a white genocide in South Africa. Like that's basically what he does. That's what
I
Trump
mean,
does.
look,
He just does a
fucking
clownery.
Ramaphosa didn't help by going like, "Oh, President where?" Because it's like it's not about where, because that could be in like middle fucking Asia for all we know. Like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, I'm just
here's
saying
mass
like
graves.
yeah,
Like,
mass
where,
graves. Yeah.
asshole? Like, he's clearly not here to answer those questions. He's not bringing you like actual things. He's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um
Ramaphosa didn't help.
no. I think that he was too what's the word? It was like he was too not and I don't want to say naive, but he was kept putting too much faith in Trump to be like an honest politician there, or maybe he was just trying to be
No, it was all soft
amicable with
soaping. It
Trump.
was
It was
all like, look, remember South African politicians, they're not idiots down here. Remember, we do
yeah,
corruption on a whole different scale.
yeah. Do you I think maybe if it wasn't him being like too like naive with Trump, but maybe it was him just being like trying to be amicable with Trump and trying to like do like
Yeah, just
peace. Like, hey,
keep the
let's
big
yeah.
orange man happy.
Yeah,
Just be
keep him
like,
with peace.
oh, ask the right questions, show
Yeah.
interest in what
Yeah, yeah.
he's
That's
fucking
probably more
rambling
what it
about.
was.
Like, go home
Yeah.
with a good deal, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's it. Let's as look, it's kind of grim, but that is the reality of it. It's the
Yeah.
but you know, Ramaphosa could have like had a spine for 10 seconds. But
Yeah.
then again, when the international community put out a fucking uh thing for Putin, what's it
The arrest warrant.
the arrest warrant for Putin, like the ANC was also like, yeah, we won't be arresting him if he comes here.
Yeah.
It's like the same Netanyahu when they put out an arrest warrant for Netanyahu. Like the ANC was like,
Wait, the
no,
ANC said
no.
no to that? Because the ANC is the
The
one who
ANC was
charged Netanyahu with the war crime. Well, the South Africa is the country that led the charge to charge Israel with war crimes.
like politics, politics.
Yeah, I know America didn't arrest Netanyahu because he spoke in Congress after he was already like given the arrest warrant.
Yeah, but like war criminals in Congress is like
That's like
normal,
every
right?
day, yeah. But no, brought up the Ramaphosa thing because that's what Trump does. He meets with world leaders and makes a clown of himself. He doesn't really do anything. Everything he does is on TV. You can see everything Trump does because they even televise cabinet meetings now. Those aren't even private anymore.
Yeah, but the cabinet meetings are just them going, sitting
It's more
around going
propaganda.
like, "Oh, our entire department has sucked your dick so hard this month, Donald. You have no idea. We will continue to suck your dick for the rest of your term, for as long as you wish. And if you want us to cup the balls, you just let us know. We are proud to cup such orange balls as yours." That's what the cabinet meetings are
I trust
nowadays. Like,
everyone's
I
made their
don't fucking give a
pre-cum
shit.
quotas.
Like, I don't, I couldn't, honestly, do you know what's the worst thing about the administration of fascism that's happening right now?
It's
The
boring.
worst thing about it is boring now
It's so
because it's just
boring.
like, ah, well, more rights are gone. What did you expect? It's like, what's this whole thing with RFK where he's now in fucking,
Oh, we'll get to
he's doing
RFK.
his, he's,
We can get to
he's
RFK.
fucking God damn it. Fucking no. I'm so tired of the same every time. It's the same story. Trump has removed more rights and more freedoms from the American people. The American people seem kind of unhappy. Trump goes and has a brain fart in
Yeah.
public. Everybody forgets about like the horrendous fascism that's overtaking the country. No, you fucking, I don't know. I go back and forth on this, but there are truly days where I sit around going, you fuckers deserve this. I know it's not like true for every American, and I know it's not like true of every person, but at the end of the day, the truth is like sometimes I look at this and I go like, you've had opportunities. There have been endless opportunities to stop the shit. You motherfuckers deserve it.
America as a nation deserves like this stupidity. America as a nation and America as like a culture, more so nation, we've made decisions as a group that have led us to this point and we deserve it collectively in like a political sense, not in an individual sense. Like people who get rounded up and go to fucking camps right now and like alligator Alcatraz and all that. They're not deserving of that. They don't deserve that. But America, like when Hassan said America deserved 9/11, he didn't mean those people deserved to die in that tower. He meant America as a nation had that coming. All of our dicking around in the Middle East and all of our constant coup attempts and Cold War politics led us to getting 9/11. This is America deserves Trump. America deserves the Trump administration. All of our uh, 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 arrogant, fucking ignorant, lack of education, racism has led us to this point where we fucking deserve the Trump administration. We deserve this.
You
Is
know,
yeah.
like I remember all the way back when Obama first got elected, you mentioned the racism aspect.
Yeah.
People really were acting like racism was defeated. Like
Yeah.
America has a black president now. Like we can just chill out. And now look. And now
I
look. Full
I
fascism. Full
actually
fascism.
have a hypothesis, so to speak, about the
Okay.
Obama election and the perceived end of history.
Okay.
I think that the ever since the end of the Cold War until COVID, I think people viewed history, at least I should say people, but culture viewed history, especially Democrats, as over. Like they thought this was the end. And I think a lot of people saw the election of Obama in 2008 as like the end of racism. We're at the end of racism. See, we've solved it. We've solved history. So we're wrapping up now. This is the wrap up time. We solved the Cold War. We solved uh
Woman can vote.
yeah, women can vote now. Now we have black person as a president. Racism's over. And then like, oh, gay marriage, we have that now. That's over. And like until COVID, I think people really thought that like everything is going to be smooth sailing and we're in the good times now. Sure, there's a little hiccup here and there with like 2008 and everything, and maybe social media. That's a little crazy new thing. But like, hey, look at technology's crazy. Everything's new. Everything's awesome. And Obama won. Nothing could be bad ever again. Like I do think that like that Fukuyama, it's type of shit. Fukuyama, like the end of history ends with America. Like it's that type of a feeling, and I feel like that was big with Obama with like end of racism stuff. Didn't mean to derail that there though. Sorry.
No, but you're not kind of wrong there. But it really does tie in because, like, I think the complacency that the left got after Obama is exactly what led to, because what was the first campaign after Obama for the Dems?
It was
Hillary.
Hillary Clinton.
And Hillary's campaign was a victory lap. Remember,
Yeah,
I've said this
exactly.
before on the podcast where her campaign failed mainly because it was a victory lap.
Yeah, it was already like we already won. Of course, we're not gonna lose to Trump. We already won. Thank you for voting for me.
Yeah, basically. And like a lot of that came off of the back of the complacency of like the Obama administration. And it was
Yeah,
really like, oh, Trump's not a real candidate. I remember how many fucking headlines really were like, oh, Trump's not a real candidate. Oh, polls show like people might vote for Trump, but like he's not a real candidate. It's like all the way right up until the end. And then he
yeah,
won and was like, oh fuck, he's a real candidate. And it's like,
yeah,
it's too late now. He's the fucking president, asshole. Like,
yeah.
your country's going to die.
Our country is going to die. Just we live in like a fucking miserable world. I really think that Trump
This
should
is
have
the
won in
worst
2020.
timeline.
Trump should have won in 2020 because we wouldn't be in this mess. We would be in a different mess, I think, but it wouldn't be that bad because think about it. After 2020, after he lost, that's when January 6th happened. That's when COVID denialism happened. That's when people en masse got
COVID
super fucking
denialism was
racist.
happening before
It
that, I
was,
think.
it was, but because Trump himself was trying to push the vaccines, it wasn't political. It wasn't like a political standpoint to be anti-vax. It was just a conspiracy theory fringe thing. But after Biden became president and vaccines became a Biden thing, that's when COVID denialism became a Republican thing. That's when COVID denialists became Republican. That's when RFK was able, I mean, RFK came far later, but people who would wind up becoming RFK supporters, people who were completely anti factual and bleed into like that fascist anti factualness started to pop up. Fascism became a Republican mainstay doctrine point rather than just like a fringe part of the Republican Party. It became the Republican Party. Everything that we're kind of in right now happened very quickly because of Trump's loss in 2020 and because of his like trying to attempts to steal the election. If he won in 2020, it would have just been more corporate like stoogery and buyouts and just a general bad Republican presidency who's incompetent. Maybe like we would have deteriorated global relations more. Maybe Roe v. Wade still would have been overturned and everything, but I don't think we'd be having death camps. I don't think we'd be having like threats of fucking war. Like obviously Israel and Palestine still would happen, and there'd still be war in Ukraine, but we wouldn't have
In
we
the
wouldn't
good
have like
timeline,
tariffs right now, right? Yeah.
in the good timeline, Trump died in like the end of 2020 of COVID.
In the
Like,
good timeline, Bernie won in 2016.
fucking good timeline, Bernie won in like 2004.
Well, he never ran in 2004.
He should have.
He was still just a senator.
He should have
A
run
good
in
timeline would be him winning the
2004.
Democratic nomination in 2016, and then he would have won the presidency. He absolutely would have beat Trump, I think. I still think in
I
2016,
think
Bernie Sanders would have beaten Trump. Maybe not in 2020, but in 2016 he would have.
Bernie for dictator, King Bernie.
Yeah. We got super sidetracked there. We were trying to lead into the next point of the Trump disappearance. Yeah, Trump disappeared, and then he reappeared in a speech, right? And this was a speech where he was announcing. It was a very small bureaucratic thing that wasn't supposed to be anything special. He was just announcing that they were going to be building a big, uh, like NASA base in Alabama. It was supposed to be in Colorado. It was for his Star Force thing that he started in his first term. It was supposed to be built in Alabama. Biden moved it to
Fucking
Colorado,
idiot.
and then Trump moved it back to Alabama.
I care about government efficiency, so I'm going to start a space agency. So we have a space agency.
Well,
I
no, this
want it
is
to be an
this is a
efficient
space
and
military force.
fucking
This isn't a space. This isn't just NASA, which is like space craft building and exploration and science. This is for space military. This is a continuation of like Ronald Reagan era, like Star Wars program.
Star
You
Wars
know,
program.
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
Ronnie Reagan.
He's a, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this is more of that. This is
There's a
like we
whole,
need we
aren't
need
there like
space
a whole
soldiers.
bunch of treaties and stuff that's signed by even countries like China and Russia saying basically like, hey, we're not going to militarize space.
I think so. I know there's that for like Antarctica, but I think so for space. At least maybe for the moon they wrote something like let's not turn the moon into something like that. I don't know. But Trump wants to build Space Force. This isn't exactly new. This was a speech that was supposed to just be a small thing, but because it was his first public appearance in like a week, it became a big thing. So the speech had been delayed a lot. It was super unclear of when it would start, and then all of a sudden it just started. Trump was already at the podium, surrounded by like 30 fucking people. And everyone was like looking at Trump. They were watching him. He talks on script for like 10 minutes, then stops talking, and other people talk for like another hour and a half of just other people talking, and then Trump's come back to answer some questions. And he answers a question about his health. Here's a clip of him talking
I
about
remember
his health.
the health
Completely
question.
different, but about a big viral social media trend over the weekend. How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see you for a couple days. 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Really? I
You
didn't see that. I have heard, it's sort of crazy, but last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well. And then I didn't do any for 2 days, and they said, there must be something wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do them for months. You wouldn't see him. And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him, and we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape. No, I heard that. I get reports. Now, you knew I did an interview that lasted for about an hour and a half with somebody, and everybody saw that was on one of your competitors. I did numerous shows and also did a number of truths, long truths, I think pretty poignant truths. No, I was very active over the weekend. They also knew I went out to visit some people at the club that.
I played Trump clips, and then I realized this is worthless. Like he's not saying anything. Like this is completely fucking
No, he never
worthless.
says
There's
anything.
no
He
point in
never says
finishing the clip.
anything.
There's no point in finishing the clip.
I'm
He's just
just
wailing.
waiting for him to
So
fucking kilo and fucking
yeah.
die.
So
Jesus Christ.
his
I
response
fucking
to
hate this
so
person.
so he said that like, oh, I was only gone for 2 days. He was gone for like 5 or 6. And he said that Biden would be gone for months. Biden would be gone for like 5 or 6. Sometimes like 2 weeks, granted. But the funniest thing is Trump hasn't been seen since this interview either, and it's been 3 days. So he
Yeah, but
continues
like
that he just
also
disappeared
by
again.
that merit, like presidents didn't used to live on TV.
That is true also,
It
but then
wasn't a
again, there was no
goddamn
TV.
reality TV
I think
show. Like the
ever
people.
since Bush, more so, but Clinton and Bush, presidents kind of were. Oh, I will say Bush because that's when the internet started to become like used, like late
But
Bush
Bush wasn't
presidency,
on.
late.
Bush wasn't. Bush did events, but
I know, but
Bush
late.
wasn't like in
Let
front
me
of
finish my point.
cameras
Let me
as
finish my point. I'm not
much.
saying in front of cameras. I'm saying the whereabouts of the president, pretty much since the internet times, have always been known. Like we always know where Obama was. We always knew where Biden kind of not always knew, but we always kept track of when Biden appeared. Everyone knew where Biden was, and when Biden
Yeah,
disappeared, everyone knew Biden disappeared. This is true for pretty much every president since mass media. We kind of know if they're appearing somewhere, we know where they are. If they're not appearing somewhere, we don't know where they are, and there's an absence there. So like you can like schedules up here. So then Trump just disappearing when he normally always appears is weird because Trump is like the TV president. He's everywhere.
He runs his campaign.
Yeah,
He
like
runs his whole
if
fucking
Bill
cabinet
Clinton
like a reality
if
TV
Bill
show.
Clinton during his presidency disappeared for a week, that's just Bill Clinton being busy. That's just Bill Clinton not being on TV for a week.
Yeah.
If Trump disappears for a week, what the fuck happened to Trump? His ass is always wasn't posting on Truth Social either. One of the last posts he said was "Good night." Like, he's gone. What happened to him? He's the most loud president.
Donald, blink twice if they have you like Weekend at Donnie's here.
Weekend at Donnie's. They have him hanging in the closet. No, he's definitely
Where's the orange skin suit?
I personally.
What if there was a moment? Take a moment, right?
Yeah.
Scooby Gang busts
Scooby Gang,
into the White House. Scooby Gang, whole
Mystery Gang.
Dog 2, fucking Scooby
Dog 2, yeah.
Dog 2 comes in and they like catch Donald Trump behind the desk and they're just like, we got you,
Yeah.
and they pull and off comes the mask and underneath is Stephen Miller and it's just like Stephen Miller in an orange like.
You caught me. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Stephen Miller would be the one to put on the Trump suit, like the Trump animatronic suit with the spring locks in it and shit. Fucking 5 Nights at the White House.
5 Nights at Donald's.
5 Nights at Epstein's Island.
Oh my god!
Do not put on the Jeffrey Epstein animatronic suit.
Did you get the Diddy DLC?
I did the Diddy. Sister location is the Diddy Palace, or something.
Pre-order now.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Only like actual bottle of baby oil.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. This is fucking derailed, and at this point, we're making jokes about Epstein and Diddy, like the Epstein victim.
That did remind me of something.
Yeah.
They did a performative release of the Epstein files again. They like released a bunch of files that were all like redacted and stuff we already knew about.
That all ties in with the Epstein victims who were there and making a speech. And
yeah,
have you heard they're going to release their own list? Because
that's
according
awesome.
to them, as they put it, I don't want to like misquote it here, but I'm doing this off of memory. But they put it in a way of like, we are the victims. We were there. We know who these people are, and we will make our own list.
That's awesome, and we will cover that whenever they do that.
It's just, are they going to do it? Because, you know,
I think if they don't do it, it's because they were threatened with death.
Interested, yes. I think that this might just be something that makes quiet because, like, it feels very much to me like I have an issue with how history has gone recently on one particular note that I don't know if I brought up on the podcast before, but here we go. I hate that the hashtag #MeToo movement just sort of faded away.
Yeah, I think it failed.
It kind of just sort of went. I feel like it was a failed movement.
It was a failed movement because the powerful people snuffed it out. The point of Me Too was that people who spoke out had the support of other people who then spoke out, who then can speak out, and it was like people who were kept in silence because they thought that they were alone now learned that they weren't alone and they could all come out together. And I think only like Bill Cosby was like the actual like target that was successful in Me Too. I'd say Weinstein also, but Weinstein keeps getting fucking pardoned and shit and keeps getting like retrials and stuff. So
yeah, like Weinstein's not actually going to properly pay for any of his crimes.
Cosby's the only one who really fell down because of it, and he was black, and that probably didn't help.
Cosby, is he in prison?
I think so, yeah.
Well, he fucking better be.
Yeah. I do think he's the only one who really actually faced consequences for
You know
Me
why
Too.
I think he actually did?
Yeah.
Because his career actually was over.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's black. Yeah. Like, I think that played into part of it.
No, but I mean, like comparative to like, if this happened, like Weinstein wasn't a in front of the camera person anyway. Like he was.
Yeah, he was a producer.
He can carry on with his career.
Yeah, like directors.
His career isn't over.
Like compare like a director getting. Oh, Kevin Spacey's another one who got called out a lot for it, but he also didn't go to jail. But compare to someone
It
like
was bad.
Spacey, he did his career didn't end though. Finish what you were gonna say.
Kevin Spacey, I feel like he he got an unfair advantage to the world because he used the whole thing to be like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay,"
The way
and
you
it
said,
suddenly
the way
became an
you said
entire.
that, you went.
I know. I
Kevin
didn't know how
Spacey
to
got an
word it.
unfair. Like, oh, hold on a minute.
No, like I just mean like people didn't basically fairly say that he's a creep either way and he
Yeah,
should fuck off. They were like, "Oh,
yeah,
poor Kevin, he was gay the whole time. How
yeah,
sad
yeah.
for him." It's like, you know what? A lot of people were gay in Hollywood, and you know what happened? Their careers were fine. Holy shit, can you imagine? Kevin Spacey can eat all of the ass. I don't fucking care. He's an asshole.
I think that it's when an actor and when like a producer or director, the differences between them when they get into controversy like this. Like Bill Cosby was an actor, Kevin Spacey was an actor.
Yeah.
Someone else who was an actor who got into hot water. I mean, Mel Gibson did the same thing, but he wasn't rape. For him, it was racism. When they get into hot water, their careers end. Kevin Spacey kind of doesn't do anything anymore. His career's over. He didn't go to jail for anything, but his career's kind of over. Um, Bill Cosby went to jail. Mel Gibson, his career ended for what he did. But when a director, I'm gonna use Bryan Singer as an example because he's a guy who pops up a lot. He did the X Men. He did X Men. He did X Men 3. He did Superman Returns. A lot of old superhero movies in the 2000s. He was a rapist. He has 4 different instances of him raping people. 19 like in the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s. He does it a lot. He got into a lot of hot water for it, but his career never ended because he was a director. Nobody paid attention to him. He was never on screen. Weinstein gets away with a lot of the shit he did because he was a fucking producer. He got away with a lot of it. Horrible person, got away with a lot of it. I think like only like Roman Polanski is one of the only directors I can think of who was so heinous, and even though he was a director, he got the same amount of hot water an actor would get into. Someone whose face is everywhere, and Roman Polanski had to flee the fucking country because he was such a heinous fucking criminal.
Do
Um,
you know what? I can make you hate Weinstein even more.
I doubt that because I already hate Weinstein.
He's the reason there's no sequel to Dogma and that there's no special releases of Dogma.
Really?
Yep,
Why is that?
he owns the rights.
Oh, Weinstein Company.
Weinstein Company. He owns the rights.
Really? I didn't know that.
So Kevin Smith has said that he's gone to Weinstein and Weinstein has multiple times like told him like, hey, we can make money off of this. Like we can like, you know, let's
Yeah,
let's let's do something with Dogma because nobody else will fucking work with Weinstein, right? Nobody wants to
yeah,
publicly work with Weinstein. And Kevin Smith is like he wishes so badly like he could do something with Dogma again, but like nope. Weinstein and Weinstein won't give away the rights, won't sell it to him either.
yeah. That fucking sucks. That just sucks. Like,
And like you know Kevin
that's
Smith. Kevin
because
Smith like
yeah.
will not work with Harvey.
No,
Kevin
no,
Smith will not with Harvey
no.
Weinstein.
It's definitely because like of how ingrained Harvey Weinstein is to the fucking industry that like he just ruins so many projects he's a part of. Is he just fucking evil man?
Because if you do look back at like what his company is involved with, it's like you can't even like blacklist the shit. That's kind of the point we're making is that Harvey Weinstein, you just go look at the company itself. Like you
They
can't
did so many
blacklist.
things.
You can't say I'll never watch something. These actors who are they involved, it's like 99% of Hollywood. Like you
Yeah,
can't
and that's kind of the
just
thing with
blacklist
Epstein
it.
too. That's the thing with Epstein too, is because Epstein's whole model was surrounding himself with so many people that you can't avoid Epstein, right? Like the flight logs, the reason why the people on the flight logs were never like targeted for like sexual assault of minors is because they're just flight logs. Even though we knew what Epstein was doing on that island and that the people who were going there were largely people going to sex traffic children. You can't use the flight logs because Epstein would also bring in people who were just there to do like networking, right? So you have people on there like Matt Groening, the guy, the Simpsons guy. You have people on there like Stephen Hawking and stuff. Well, I think Stephen Hawking's actually been indicted for like fucking kids, but you have people there who may or may not have been there to fuck kids. People who might have been there to just network. He brought on so many people to that island that the flight logs aren't really like a indictment on like sex trafficking. Like it's plausible deniability for some. It's like unfortunate association for others. It's that same kind of thing where like you can't be like, oh, if someone was like on Epstein's island, I'll never look at something again. But then you find out that they were there for like a day, and you're like, well, what did they do while they were there? Like it's just like a fucking evil of the industry kind of thing, you know?
Evil of the industry.
It's these kind of like connected insider shit that like kind of
This
infests
stuff is
everything.
really depressing.
It is. It's
I
just the evil of the
I
world.
hate that this is what the world is. Like right now they keep saying like the rhetoric from Congress and stuff is like, oh, yeah, you'll be able to see who votes for and who votes against the Epstein stuff. And it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't fucking matter. It
No.
doesn't.
No.
This is all a fucking big show at the end of the day. Nobody is actually at this point who's gonna get in trouble.
Exactly.
Like
Like
the law has not caught up to these people, and when the law has had the evidence in their hands the entire time, like we're so worried about the public indictment of these people, but fuck you all. Like the actual police have had the evidence in hand
well,
for how
not the
goddamn
police,
long.
it's federal investigators. But yeah.
So the federal investigators, what I'm saying is that the authorities
Authorities,
know.
yeah.
Authorities know. Like this is not like, oh, if it comes out, for example, right? If it comes out that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, I fully believe he is, but let's play the game. Comes out he's in the Epstein files. The FBI knew this.
Yeah.
The
They
FBI
had it.
knew it under Biden and they knew it under Trump. Like the authorities already knew.
Yeah.
None of this is going to actually change anything other than like public perception. Like at the end of the day, even the people, even if they nailed half the people on the fucking quote unquote Epstein files, right? How nice do you think their prisons are gonna be? Fucking house arrest for most of them. Fade
Yeah.
away into
I
the
think
darkness.
I think that the point of the Epstein files coming out isn't to get these people necessarily in prison. Like, obviously, that'd be nice. But I think it's because we know they're not going to get arrested. I think the point of it is to get people angry that they're not getting arrested, even though we have all the evidence to throw them away. I think that the value of releasing those Epstein files is to make people angry. Is that we have to get people angry at Trump. We have to get people angry at the people who are pedophiles and running the country. And the best way to do that is to just show them bold face, like, hey, Trump was fucking kids. You can't deny it anymore. Look, they were fucking kids. And that would turn enough people over from Trump to like get some anger. It would get people being like, hey, we have the pedophiles, arrest them. Like that's the point of releasing the Epstein files. Isn't necessarily to just, hey, the Epstein files are released. Now Trump can go to jail. It's the Epstein files are released. Now you fuckers look at this is the thing you wanted. Here he is. He's in the papers. Like it's to get people angry. You know?
Yeah, but he's already invented the next lie for when that
Yeah, and it'll work on some people, but for some
right?
people who
Like
are very
no. Have you heard the next lie? You know
uh
what I'm referring.
is it that Obama made it?
It's a Democratic hoax.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but look
the
at
Democrats.
look at it this way, right?
Yeah.
You still couldn't get a single Trump Republican
No,
to admit that Jan 6
oh,
was a
Jessica.
bad thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's because that was
This is what
completely
I'm saying.
seceded to
Like,
them.
it doesn't matter what the truth is. The Trump lie for what happens next has already been
I
invented.
think
The
though,
seed is planted.
I think that for like maybe half of MAGA who are like diehard to Trump, like maybe around half to 60% or whatever are like diehard. They'll never criticize him ever, and then maybe like the rest of them are like. There are a lot of people who are Republicans who support Trump who are very diehard, release the Epstein files as their primary issue. That's their first issue. Is like they're genuinely concerned about pedophiles. Of course, to them, they also probably think that gay people are pedophiles. But they also think that, like, the Epstein files are the most important thing that need to be released. And I think that those people, if they learned that, like, hey, the Epstein files are released, here they are, Trump's there, I think some of them, maybe half, maybe more, are going to be like, wait a minute, this was all lies. How the hell did Trump get away with it? Like, this motherfucker lied to us. Like, I think that
Thing
that's
is,
significant.
I truly believe that if you're an earnest and sincere person who hates the whole pedophile thing and wants to bring down Epstein and all that, if you're sincere about it, you already don't believe Trump.
Well, that's what happened with the most recent bout of it, was that a lot of the people who hadn't been really been thinking about it that critically already left over and are like anti-Trump, still racist and shit, but they're anti-Trump because they're like, hey, wait a minute, he's in the Epstein files. That's happened, and that's been happening. Uh, with it, like it's a consistent theme, really. But I think that, like, it would be finally nailed in if they were released. Point is, we should like never give up on fucking calling for them to be released, because even just calling for them to be released makes Trump look bad because he's not releasing them. Like, that's like, it's all about optics, really. You know, it's all about like that push. Just don't shut the fuck up about it, really. You know.
Eh, The lie is already planted. I
I
guess
know,
I'm
but we
just a
don't get
little
to,
bit
just don't
hopeless.
shut the fuck up about it. Just keep talking about it.
I'm just a
Even if the
little bit hopeless at this point,
even if the
honestly.
lie is
Like,
implanted,
fucking-
because then, you know what? Disprove that lie. Have them make up a new lie. Have them make up a new lie. Keep making them dig the hole deeper, and more people will leave because they keep fucking fighting a new lie. Even though people keep buying new lies, there is a point where people are like, all right, I'm done. And you just keep going and going and going and whittling away at the people who keep going, I can't keep up with the lies. There's a psychosis going on, and you just eventually it'll have to break. Eventually there'll be enough pressure where something will have to break. You just gotta keep going without shutting the fuck up about the Epstein files. And eventually it'll break. That's how I see it.
You know how I see it?
Yeah.
Not enough people take.
Whoa, we're talking about digs at them, um attacks on them verbally in a legal manner. I kind of want to clean up our act here. I kind of want to, like, not get arrested, and I don't want these things to bite me in the ass when I'm going to apply for a job one day, Jade, and they research me. I'm not even joking about that. I'm being genuine. Like, I'm starting to think more and more that this isn't going to work out as a long-term career as this type of stuff, and that more so I have to pivot back into, like, my education career. And I don't want to have to delete all these episodes one day.
Just edit out that part.
I will, but, like, genuinely though, like, I don't want to. I'm gonna, like,
But like
stop making death threats to.
the
God damn it! I don't want to have to keep editing.
just cut that whole section and cut back into me laughing about it.
Yeah, we'll come back into you laughing after saying things that I had to cut out because I want to get hired one day. And I don't want to have to, like, I don't want to, like, if my pivot, like, I'm going into history, right? My history is my focus, right? But if that doesn't work out, my pivot is law school. I don't want to make it through law school, go through the bar exam, and then pull up clips of you saying things like that and going, these are the people you associate yourself with. We can't have you be a lawyer. And then all of a sudden, like all that money put into law school just to get disbarred because of, like, a podcast episode that I had Insari on, where Insari was like, you know what, we need to, like, kill people. And I'm like, oh my god, Insari, you can't say that. Oh my god. There's something out there. I'll never be a lawyer. Like that, I can't have that be my backup. I can never be a lawyer. Even if it's property law. I think I'd make a good lawyer. Maybe not like a criminal lawyer, like criminal justice, but I think I'd make a good, like, fucking contract law lawyer or something. Or like a
divorce lawyer.
I'd be a great divorce lawyer. I actually would be, I think.
Better call Riley.
He's a pro bono lawyer. He's not a divorce lawyer.
I give you a pro boner.
No.
I think you can tell what my mindset is right now.
I think we
all
could
this
tell that
shit
you're
about
tired.
the fucking guy. Look, not to like tie it back to the beginning of the episode again, but like that shit really fucked with my head.
Yeah, that pain, that ear pain.
That airbrain, like it really fucked with my head, and
I
I'm
mean, of
sort
course it
of
will.
like hyper aware of my headset lately.
Yeah. So, is that a sign that we're gonna wrap up now?
I think so.
All right. Well, it's been nice to record again after being gone for a week. You know, it is nice to get back to it.
It is nice to get back to it.
Though my habits are gone. I completely forgot to say that you need to subscribe to the podcast if you liked the episode, and you make sure you like it too, and leave a comment saying about your thoughts, saying about something stupid. And we have a Patreon where you can support us for $5 a month. Uh that's little bit of money goes a long way, and we need that little bit a long way. You know? Yeah. Yeah, you know.
We got medical bills to pay now.
Kinda, yeah, in a way. Not really like in the way of like health insurance wise, but like we need to eat
Like
food.
I literally went to the doctor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It cost me like $60.
60 American dollars?
Yes.
That's a lot of money for you. That's a lot of money for South Africa.
Yeah. For 15 minutes to the doctor.
I have to spend $60 on my textbook for my child psychology class.
Fucking. Thank you for
That is a lot of money though
watching
for a book.
the dog
Thank
cast.
you. Thank you. We appreciate the love. We'll see you next week. Bye bye. Stay safe.